The rational decision-making approach assumes that managers follow a systematic, step-by-step process. Let's take a look. The rational decision-making approach is a systematic, step-by-step process for making decisions. It further assumes that the organization is dedicated to making logical choices and doing what makes the most sense economically, and that it's managed by decision-makers who are entirely objective and have complete information. This figure identifies the steps of the process, starting with stating a goal and running logically through the process until the best decision is made, implemented, and controlled. The rational decision-making process begins with the statement of a situational goal, that is, a goal for a particular situation. The goal of a marketing department, for example, may be to obtain a certain market share by the end of the year. The purpose of problem identification is to gather information that bears on the goal. If there's a discrepancy between the goal and the actual state, action may be needed. Next, the decision makers must determine whether the problem represents a programmed or non-programmed decision. If a programmed decision is needed, the appropriate decision rule is invoked, and the process moves on to the choice among alternatives. The next step in making a non-programmed decision is to generate alternatives. The rational process assumes that decision makers will generate all the possible alternative solutions to the problem. However, this assumption is unrealistic because even simple business problems can have scores of possible solutions. Decision makers may rely on education and experience, as well as knowledge of the situation to generate alternatives. Evaluation involves assessing all possible alternatives in terms of predetermined decision criteria. Choosing an alternative is usually the most critical step in the decision-making process. Choosing consists of selecting the alternative with the highest possible payoff based on the benefits, costs, risks, and uncertainties of all alternatives. Implementation puts the decision into action. It builds on the commitment and motivation of those who participated in the decision-making process and may actually bolster individual commitment and motivation. To succeed, implementation requires the proper use of resources and good management skills. The rational approach has several strengths. It forces decision makers to consider a decision in a logical, sequential manner, and the in-depth analysis of alternatives enables the decision maker to choose on the basis of information rather than emotion or social pressure.